Boatworks Today is a viewer-supported show. To learn more on how you can get involved and watch extended ad-free versions of these videos, please visit our website, boatworkstoday.com, and click on the top of the heading where it says Support This Show. Thank you. So, welcome back everybody. I hope you're all doing well. My name is Andy with Boatworks Today, and this week we're going to be doing all the glass work on these hatches. Now, because this video is going to be essentially nothing but laying glass, it can be a little bit repetitive, so I'm going to structure this video along the lines of like a Jimmy DiResta. So, grab a drink, have a seat, and I hope you enjoy. Something I want to point out, and you can see it really well in the light here, is that the Coosa, it does actually absorb a little bit of resin. So anywhere you're seeing like these little fisheye looking things, that's where basically the Coosa has sucked the resin in. So what I've been doing is I've been babysitting this. After I pre-coat it, I come back and I just let it sit for like 5-10 minutes. And then I'll come back and coat it again just to make sure that I'm basically soaking in all those fisheyes. I don't want any dry spots. So good morning. Now that we've got these panels kind of dressed up and all the excess glass ground off, the next thing I want to focus on is actually getting the edging on here, or getting some glass up along the edges of all these pieces. And to do this, I guess I have some options. If I wanted to take the easy route, probably the easiest thing to do would be to use what's called like fiberglass tape. And essentially, this comes in different weights of glass, but I believe this is like a 4 ounce, and it's already pre-cut to 2 inches wide. And this would work perfectly fine. I mean, it really would. But because it's such a lightweight material, I'm kind of shying away from it, because in order to get the thickness that I want, I'm going to have to do more laminations, probably 4 of these, 4 or 5 of these to get the same thickness as 2 layers of 1708. Now, just to kind of cross one type of material off the list that I probably wouldn't recommend, just because it's pretty narrow. It's a little over 1 inch wide, about 1 1/8 inches. The one glass I probably would not recommend would be to use like chop strand matting, just mainly because this is so narrow. If you try to cut it or tear it into these narrow strips, I think it's just basically just going to fall apart on you. So the material that I'm going to be using on here is going to be strips of 1708. Mainly because I've got a lot of cutoffs and scraps that I want to use up. I don't want to waste it. Now, 1708 will work perfectly fine if it's cut in the right direction. And let me show you what I mean by that. So now when we're looking at 1708, one thing you kind of want to pay attention to, and I'm hoping this is going to pick up on camera, but when you look closely at this, there's all the layers of 1708 are stitched together, and the stitching is all running in one direction. So when we're making our cuts for our slits, we want to make our cuts right along, lengthwise with these stitches. If we try and go crosswise, it's going to fall apart on us. So now just to kind of show you what I mean real quick. A little scrap cut off piece, but the stitching on this one is actually running in this direction. So when we go to pull it, it just pulls right apart very, very easily. Not what we want when we're trying to wrap our edge around here. Now, on the other hand, here's another little scrap piece, but this time the stitching is running lengthwise, and you can tug on this pretty strong, and it doesn't deform, it doesn't stretch, it doesn't do anything. So that's the important reason for wanting to make our cuts for these slits lengthwise. And again, because I'm going to be using scraps and cutoffs, I'm going to end up having a lot of pieces that are going to be just little chunks like this. So it'll all get kind of piecemealed together, but for something like this, that will work perfectly fine. Okay, now with these panels more or less cleaned up, let's take a closer look and see how they turned out. And okay, just give everybody a little bit of reference here. I'm not sure which side this is. I forget. I'd have to bring them up and take a look. But this is kind of what I'm curious to look at here. We got a nice even, this is the edge of the glass from laying up on the sides. It's a nice, even consistency or thickness all the way around. Same thing up on the actual frame part of these hatch covers. And overall, it's a pretty good fit. It's not perfect by any means because, well, it doesn't fit. But it's really, really close. Just to kind of give you an idea of how close it is. Now, this is literally, if there was like the thickness of a piece of a paper, or maybe even 2 sheets of paper, if there was that thickness removed, this thing would drop right in like a glove. So now the next step in this process is going to be actually installing and glassing these in place up on the Bertram, but that's going to have to wait until the next video. Now, speaking of the next video, with the holidays coming up, I'm going to be taking the next 2 weeks off to spend the holidays with my family for the first time ever. And then I'll be coming back to work on the 5th, and then the next video will be ready to post then on the 12th. Now, the folks over on Patreon, they're going to be getting that obviously beforehand. And I'll also be doing some, kind of impromptu posts and maybe do some video stuff over the course of this period. So if you're over on Patreon, keep an eye out for that. Have a safe and happy holidays, and I will see you again on the 12th. So getting back to this video, I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please hit that thumbs up button. If you have any questions, comments, you can please leave those down below. If you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button and that little notification bell. That does make a difference. And yeah, I think that's going to wrap it for this one. Again, have a safe and happy holidays, and I'll see you next year.
This has been a Boatworks Today production.